Hello everyone, I welcome you all at yet another podcast at Insights IAS. In today's podcast, we are going to discuss about the prelims preparation and its strategy for the last few remaining days. In our experience of past 8 to 10 years, we have seen many of the aspirants who have been preparing throughout the year very meticulously, but they end up in doing certain mistakes in the last few days. So in this podcast, Aditya sir and myself would be discussing what are the common mistakes that we tend to do in these last few days. So, here I welcome Aditya sir on this podcast to understand what are the things that one should not do in their last few days to increase the chances of success in the prelims examination. Sir, in this podcast, let us divide this podcast into three major parts. Component A, let us keep it about discussing about the things not to do or avoid in the preparation in the last few days. Second component, sir, let us discuss about the mindset a day before the examination, and the most important, that is what to do on the D-Day in that 2 hours of the examination. So I welcome Aditya sir on this podcast to discuss all these issues. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ashish sir, for inviting me.
So Aditya sir, in our UPSC civil services journey as a student and now as a teacher for past 8 to 10 years, we have noticed that there are certain students who keep on frequently clearing prelims examination very comfortably, or there are a category of students who just merely study for 2 months and they again comfortably clear the examination. So what are the major reasons for these aspirants who can comfortably clear the prelims irrespective of the any nature of the paper? What do you think, sir?
Yeah, that as you have said, there are many students who keep on clearing every attempt, irrespective of how much ever the study that they do. So even I have cleared n number of attempts continuously. So in sometimes it is after the interview where I get just 1 month, for some time it can be 2 months. So irrespective of it, it has been clearing, and we have seen many of the students also do the same thing. Aspirants do the same thing, right? So if you look at closely, this is not really about that they have studied everything, they have covered cover to cover. That they have not done. It's within that 1 month, it is not even realistic as well, right? So there has to be something more about it, which is, when you are going for a D-Day or you are attending the examination in that 2 hours, it is basically all you have to do, or you have managed yourself in that 2 hours, need a proper, the mindset of a winner, right? So for that, basically, it is very important how do you keep your mindset in the last 15 days or last few days. How do you keep yourself the same momentum goes into the examination? So in that sense, basically, what you are supposed not to do, that becomes a very, very important rather than what you are doing, because everybody studies the same subject, everybody has to do the same mock test. So there is nothing that they are doing something different the content wise. It is not the knowledge component that is acting as a barrier to many. It is how they are handling these 15 days that is acting as a barrier. So one, basically, the major issue that we see is they are overburdening themselves. For example, many want to, last 15 days, I want to do 2 revisions. So what I do think, so if I want to do revision, let me finish 1 day per, one subject per day. So keeping that, in mind, what I'll do, I'll start from first chapter to last chapter, where it may be taking, 14, 15 hours. But first 2, 3 hours, I will be at my, high energy. But after this energy starts, you start feeling exhausted. So over a period of time, you start feeling that whatever that I studied in the morning, I don't remember in the evening. So that will start, making you lose your confidence. So first, do not keep the unrealistic target. That is the one thing that you are supposed to understand. Second, you know, you don't need to study cover to cover. That is from first chapter to last chapter is not the way that you are supposed to study in the last 15 days. You have to do it when you have started your preparation. From last 1 year, you are studying it. You have already read them multiple times. So that means that there is no need to do that at the end. End is more for a revision. When you are revising it, just have the PYQ with you and know what are the important themes that you already know. So first you cover the important themes from every subject. Then in the last 3-4 hours, whatever that you are doing, you club the other chapters which are not really that important from the previous UPSC experiences. Just go to them and cover them. Second, it is not the time to consume the information, right? So when you start consuming the information, your mind has a a capacity to consume information up to certain limit. After that, it feels that you are putting lot of information to it. It is not in a position to take. When that happens, you start feeling or losing the confidence. So what you are supposed to do, you have to take a topic, brainstorm it, what can be asked in this. So just go through that, as you already seen the PYQ many times. Again, keep seeing the PYQ so that you are good at the way that UPSC asks the question. At the same time, when you are looking at it, the Hawkeye's, right? So approach, then what will happen? You will be covering in the overall perspective. So, and you yourself is asking, what are the questions that can come here? So once you do that, you feel more confident because most of the things that you do, you already know. So you start feeling that, yes, most of the things are done in a well prepared manner. So in that sense, it is the time where you have to make yourself confident rather than underconfident. So what will make you confident is, understanding or looking the things at a very, very broader level. When you already know the broader level because you have studied it n number of times, so you will not feel or consuming any new minor information. When you are doing that, automatically every day you feel that, yes, quality I have done well. Economy I have seen important chapter. Yes, I am good at it. So within 5-6 hours, most of the important chapter you would have finished. You are already feeling confident. So in that way, every day you have to keep yourself motivated rather than imagining. It is not a academic exam where I study say the same thing, question will be asked in the same thing. Only 30 to 40 question will be basically based on your knowledge based questions, right? So that means that whatever you do, right, whether you are studying from 1 year, 2 year, another 60 question, you will be knowing half of the answer, other half of the answer you have to apply your basics and then derive out of it. So when you know that fact, you are studying for only 40 questions, right? So make sure that that 40 questions are well prepared by covering the themes well, right? So second, do not unnecessarily add the new current affairs information unless you feel that it is something really important, right? So these are the major things. What should be avoided has to be seen.
So, sir, essentially, you are trying to say that key selective reading through Hawk's eye view and revising the themes most important are facts, going through the facts without overburdening ourselves and not keeping too ambitious target, not trying to cover everything because it's not possible also, right? So these things, if an aspirant keeps in their mind, then definitely they will feel much more confident, as what you say rightly. So the students should take cognizance of what Aditya sir is speaking about, the methodology to go in a right direction in the last few days, right? So now one more major part, sir, one more I would like to highlight here. The second most important part is the current affairs. So what we have noticed is that students tend to read a lot of current affairs from multiple sources, and they want to cover each and everything. And also at the same time, another problem added to this major problem is new material keep on pouring inside the market through the n number of the digital platforms like Telegram or anything. So is it really wise to add on yet another current affairs which are given in a pointer wise or in infographics format for addition to their basic current issues, or they should still stick on to the same current affairs? What is your opinion, sir, about it?
This is a common problem that most of the aspirant, right? So, in the last 15 days, first of all, you should not add anything new, be it current affairs, be it static part, anything, you should not add anything unless you feel that it is really important, right? For example, now, the last 15 days, some current affairs pops up, right? You have examination, let's say, you know, there is something related to US election, right? US president election has happened. Even if you look at the UPSC geoscientist paper, they have asked the question about it. So now after seeing that, you feel that, yes, this becomes important, you have not studied. At that point of time, if you are feeling that it is then very, very important, then you can study. Otherwise, just to add two more information to the already existing content is not necessary, or those topics which are not really important, maybe that is also not really important that you should add. You should only keep on making sure that the 40 question which is based on the basics, that should not be missed in these 15 days. The 15 days target is to make sure that 80 marks is in pocket, that is in your first round. So anything new is completely avoided, or it is not advisable to add anything new unless you feel that it is one of the most important things somehow you have missed during your earlier days. In that way, you are supposed to take the take.
Yes, sir. So I will also like to add one more point here. Now, majority of the aspirants feel that most of the questions are current only from this current affairs. So they are trying to read economic survey compulsorily. Secondly, India yearbook and budget part. Most of them have not yet completely gone through either volume one and or other volumes of the economic survey or budget. But now they want to read it so that they can enhance their score by one or another question. So what is your take about it? So is it really worth input and output wise to go through these documents right now, or what else should they do cover up these documents like survey and budget?
Survey, budget, Indian yearbook, these are something, everybody feels that I have to cover something because they will always have a fear, right? So that what if they ask 4 or 5 questions from it? I don't do it, rest of the country will do it.
Right.
Right. So that is a common fear that everybody has. Whenever you see anything new, right? That you feel that what if I am not studying it? So, but at the same time, leaving such material within yourself, you will have that feeling that I have not studied anything. So even before going to the exam, you have that fear. What if they ask it? So to avoid such feeling, now anyways, either they can ask a very basic question or a very important topic that has discussed in economic survey, or they can discuss so deep issue which nobody can, even after studying you will not be remembering because you would have to revise them, right? So what is my target should be not missing the very important topic discussed in budget, economic survey, or let's say India yearbook. So covering is most important thing. For that means that I cannot study cover to cover from the book.
Correct.
Or even in the compilation they will have 50 pages, 70 pages. That also becomes too much to study because in that 50, 60 pages it has been dumped with the content, only with the information. It becomes a new burden. And when you do it in the 15 days and you cannot remember the things, that will further demotivate you. So it has to be avoided in the first place. Reading either compilation or the original source, anyways it is not possible or feasible at all, right? So at the same time I don't want to go with that mindset also, say that I have not done them at all. So what would be a better suggestion would be, at least there are many materials that you get in the market regarding the test that has been conducted on economic survey, tests on India yearbook, tests on basically the budget. So here what will happen is, let's say if I want to make a test on economic survey, I want to cover all the chapters in the test to make it more comprehensive. When I am covering all the chapter, within all the chapter I would have covered all the important things that has been discussed. So even if I can do 2 economic survey tests of different institute that is available in the market, then basically you are solving around 200 questions. Same goes with, so when you are solving it through in a Q&A format, you will not feel overburdened also. At the same time, most important topic would have already covered. So you have a feeling that every chapter has been covered. Within every chapter, most important things would have been covered. You have feeling within yourself, I know important things. So when I go to the exam now, let's say there can be a chance that easy question come. You will attend it because you have gone through the important topics. Let's say they have asked a minute topic from it. Then anyways, most of the aspirant will not attend. That will not decide the cutoff. Cutoff will be decided by easy question, not by the difficult question. If you are losing in easy question, then basically you will not be in a position to clear the cutoff. So it is more about making sure that you get hold of an easy question. Correct. That everybody is doing. So in that sense, it is always better to do some 2-3 test series which will take maybe 5 to 6 hours to cover them and have a feeling that yes, I have covered most of the important things. Right.
Correct.
Ashish sir, you have also cleared multiple attempts. Right. Now when you look back, right, what were the things you are doing in two aspects? One, to keep yourself energized. Second, to keep yourself motivated. That is basically about your maintaining your health and mindset, as well as basically even physical health as well as mental health. How are you looking at the overall, how you are managing your last few days so that you are comfortably clearing in your prelims? So what were the things that you are doing?
Yes, sir. So answering this question, sir. So majorly two things have really helped for me. One is a self-talk, and second is visualization. These two things I used to do religiously. So the reason is very simple. When we self-talk with ourselves, we reiterate ourselves many of the things which we have to do and which we have to not do. And visualization helps me to get into that particular moment. For example, if I'm visualizing about 25th of May today, I visualize everything that I just keep my eyes closed. I just imagine the paper is there. I have put on the roll number. I'm now seeing question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm visualizing that if I'm not able to answer few of the questions, what am I going to do? What is my thought process going to be? All these things, if I'm visualizing, then in actual examination, it becomes very easy for me to respond in that extreme high pressure situation. So I personally feel daily the aspirant should daily visualize himself in the examination hall, that what he is going to do and what he is not going to do about certain particular part of the paper or about the particular subjects, and self talking will reiterate him that yes, you are on the right track. So I personally feel these two things will definitely help the aspirants to move towards the success. So this is what is about the mental health part. So for physical health, sir, if you just understand, this month is the month of the May, summer month. What I personally feel, the students should focus on few basic things. One, they should be always hydrated. They should try to take sleep, proper sleep, irrespective either you are feeling anything, you should sleep at the right time and try to get up. Third, you should eat good food. What I mean by good food is that, I mean, you should try to eat fruits or something, and not any unhygienic fast food you should try to avoid, because if there is any constipation chances or any loose motions, then again it will lose your complete momentum, sir. So food, water and sleep are the most important things to keep yourself energized. Along with this, if possible, in the morning you can do the simple breathing exercises for 15 minutes only maximum, which will keep you completely your oxygen levels, oxygen supply in the whole body good, which will keep you fresh, your mood fresh. So these things are which I used to do for my physical health also, along with that mental health, which I used to do for self talk and visualization, which have really helped me in all my attempts to clear this examination comfortably, with respect to the prelims part. Right, sir. So, sir, in last few days, what I used to do, I used to see original UPSC papers. This also have really helped me to get into the actual mindset of the UPSC, actual language of the UPSC, and which have made my journey much more easy in the actual examination. Here, sir, I would like to ask you one major question that most of the aspirants want to give still the open mock test, which are conducted by many of the institutions. Plus, they want to give comprehensive full length test of the GS papers. What is your take? What should aspirant really do in this last few days about the mock test? What is your take, sir?
See, now giving the test, what is the reason behind giving the test? That matters. Tests are like, in a cricket parlance, if I want to talk, it's like a net practice that you do, right? So now keeping that in mind, the reason behind test are two things. One, it will provide you the extra knowledge where you might not have covered from your basic books, or maybe you have not covered in your current affairs. There will be many topics that you are going to get from your test series, right? Because the test series, they will also be, keep searching on a small topic, they go a little deep and then they can keep the topic. So that means that one, it will add the content to your studies. Second, it will help you to strategize yourself. For example, let's say if I want to do, the pattern, let's say 3 rounds, 2 rounds, whatever the various strategy that you do, right? I want to do subject wise, first polity question I will do, economic question I will do, or I will start from 1 to 100. Whatever the way that you are actually adopted till now, I want to fine tune it. So to do that fine tuning, and especially in CSAT also, when you are fine tuning the things, I want to have my own approach of attending. So for that, basically, I will use the test series, or for the content, I will use the test series, or how the question can be eliminated, what is the strategy to eliminate, various option, how to derive, at the different answer. If I am stuck at 2 option, what has to be done? So that is to keep a strategy that is working for you, that you will do the test series. There are multiple reasons why we are doing the test series in the first place. Now, if you are only doing for the content wise, let's say you are already scoring well, you are, your strategy is fixed and that is already working good for you, right? Then basically you don't need to further attend too many mock at this point of time, because sometimes what will happen, the tests that the institutes give, right, whatever they do, right, so it can never match the UPSC standards in the first place, because in the UPSC the paper will set by the professor who have that subject knowledge from last 20 years, 30 years. So the way they understand the subject, the way, let's say if I prepare the question paper, will be quite different. Maybe the topic can match, the way of asking will sometimes, every time you can see the test series, right, you can never see a new format of question that UPSC has introduced after the test series. It is always the test series has adopted a new pattern after UPSC has introduced. How many pairs are mad, reason and assertioning, whatever the kind of question. right? All those were first will be introduced by UPSC. Then by looking at it in the next series, we will start giving such question. Next year, UPSC will change some of the question patterns, and new question pattern or the new way of asking the question will be added. Then again, we will adapt ourselves. So we will always do a post-mortem analysis. We cannot, decide what can come, right? To an extent, yes, we will give a good question. So in that way, it will not give you the edge in that sense. But what it will give you, many of the new content it will give. So if you are already doing well, then there is no need to attend the mock test at the last moment, because if the question is very tricky, very tough, then just because you get a last test, if you get very less, that will keep last demoting for many, and then they start that my preparation is not up to the mark, I'll give it to the next year. All these the weird thought comes because of the test series that you give. That means that if you have somehow I don't want to miss the content also, then what I can do, I can take the paper and then solve it without basically giving. But if you want to strategize your things, you want to fine tune your preparation, then you can do it again. You can give the test, but do not worry about the marks. If you are someone who is really worrying about marks, then don't even see your marks. Don't give the paper. Just go and write, come back home. So don't even see the paper. It is like, why are you attending? What is the intention? Intention to making you feel better. If it is making you feel worse, then you should not do it, because it is that it will upset your the complete mental mindset. It is more about the mental game here. Prelims is because you cannot do anything after 2 hours. In mains, you will have 7 subjects. If you do, first half an hour, it did not go well, then again you can do your comeback and do well in other papers. But the prelims is like a T20 game. It all happens within the 2 hours. You don't know what happened with after that, right? So keeping that in mind, it is more about a mindset game rather than basically about only about knowledge. Knowledge plays a role, but alone knowledge cannot, keep you clear the exam every time. Right? In one examination, sometimes if your luck favors, you can clear. But if somebody are clearing consistently, it is about knowledge and the right mindset you carry forward to the examination. To carry forward that right mindset, first understand, the mock test and whatever that you are doing, if it is not helping you to uplift your mindset, then please don't do it. Just take the papers, see the question, add the content. And if you are doing it, do it alone, have strategize yourself, but don't worry about the marks. That is what you have to go for it.
Correct, sir.
So that is how you are supposed to look into the mock test, right? Now coming to the second and third part of the podcast, that is just 2 days are before the D-Day or the examination prelims, how you are carried to yourself, and what you are supposed to do on the examination day and during the examination, how you have to handle it.
Correct.
Now that is one of the most important point that we want to discuss.
Correct.
So if I want to further dwell into it, Ashish sir, what you are doing or what do you suggest for the students, right? How they should handle that last 2 days when the pressure is completely high, right? So whatever that we are talking here, it looks very easy, it seems very easy, but when you are having or facing that 2 days, it is very, very difficult, right? Most of the emotion, that the intensity of the emotions, which is very high at that point of time. So how are you, what is your take on it? How do you suggest or advise the student how to go about it?
Correct. Definitely, sir. We have prepared for a complete year or few or 2 or 3 years, and definitely tomorrow is going to be D-Day, so definitely pressure is going to be very high. So how I used to do, so first most important thing that what I used to do is that I used to accept that pressure is quite normal. This is bound to happen. This is my first thing that what I used to do. Second, because acceptance is the key. This is what I feel, sir. Second, most important is, sir, treat the next day as yet another normal day. Matlab, tomorrow we are going to go for a normal yet another mock test. It is not that we are going to give something very very big UPSC का है, something बड़ा कुछ होने वाला है. ऐसा नहीं, keep the things very normal. I know that is very difficult, but we have to train our mind in the same way. That is second thing. Third thing, the small things which we tend to forget on the last day, and we tend to rush up. For example, black ballpoint pen, hall ticket, keeping a writing pad, all these things I will keep 100% ready a day before. Fourth most important thing is about the sleep. Sir, I definitely accept and I definitely know that a day before examination, due to extreme pressure, I can't get a very good quality of sleep. I can get or I may not get, but most of the aspirants don't get it. but not getting a complete good quality sleep for 7 hours is quite normal. This is what I have accepted. So this acceptance will bring me a good thought process and will keep me motivated. So it does not matter what how much hours I have slept. What matters is what mindset I'm carrying. But having a good sleep is a prior condition. So these are the few basic things that I will do before the D-Day. Try to keep the things as much normal as possible. This will definitely help me on the next day. But now, sir, the most important is the actual day of the examination, that is Sunday. On 25th of May, we have to have that right mindset, right strategy before dwelling into the examination. So since you have cleared most of your attempts very comfortably, now my most important question is that how were you able to clear this very comfortably? What you used to do in that 2 hours? The viewers want to know that what things you did and what things one should avoid to clear this cutoff very comfortably in that 2 hours, because the game is limited to that 2 hours. Correct, sir? So please highlight and please enlighten the viewers about it.
See, now there are two things. One, as you have said, it becomes a little difficult to get a sound sleep, and you have to accept it before. So, and just one night before the play, I used to sleep at 10 o'clock, but not completely sleeping, lying down and studying, let's say. So that, I keep on looking at the things, mapping and other factual things, so that till that, I get sleep, I will be keep looking at it. I don't know when I get the sleep, and I get, and maybe in the morning, I will be getting up very early, even without alarm, because of the pressure of the examination it has. So I used to accept it as long as I feeling little, better. I should to take the bath and get myself fresh. Then, start looking after last minute revision. You will always have the last minute revision, which basically should have more about facts. Maybe the countries around the seas, or whichever the important kingdom, or the where Buddhist council, where it held, under which patronage of which king it has been held. That kind of the factual, which I will keep it for a very last moment to see it one more time. Then I will do that. Once I do that, I go to the examination hall. Once I enter the examination hall, right? So what happens is most of the aspirant will be keep studying, and that will create more pressure. So what I have to do, once I enter the examination, I stop 1 hour, 1.5 before the examination.
Correct.
That is, there is no further studies. However, I don't want to keep myself basically, idle also, where others are studying, that will further create. So I involve myself in something else, maybe watching some movie, watching some, reading some newspaper, whatever that suits at that particular day, which is not related to exam, so that once I enter the examination, I should have a blank mind, something cut off from everything from the last 1 hour, so that I can look paper freshly. If you study in the last 1 hour and then enter the exam, there is a chances that you have carry forward the same kind of the subject that you are going, and if you are not getting the question in the beginning, you will start when getting panicked. So I want to cut it off. Second, once I enter the exam now, so there are two things. How do you attend the examination? How do you manage your time? And most of the student has always complained that they did not get enough time to complete the paper. So this is because they have to observe the paper in mostly, the way how you have to divide your rounding system. Rounding system is not something that you keep doing 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, whatever that we say. What are the question that you have to do in first round and second round? That is the basic thing. So for me, basically, the first round question are those questions where I have a complete knowledge over the topic, not over the statement. Statement maybe I am not aware of. For example, they would ask a question about president election. President election, I felt that yes, I know the answers. But when I know that they were asking the value of MP from Puducherry and Arunachal Pradesh, then that question itself has become difficult question. Correct. So the statement make it difficult, but when I see the topic, I feel that I know it. So in that kind of topic that I am talking about, if you are aware of the topic, then you are doing it from your knowledge based question. That I used to do in the first round. Second, those difficult questions are unknown topics, but they are having only 4 options, not the multiple statement. Then you can decide whether you know the answer or you don't know the answer. If you don't know the answer, you mark it that I am not coming back to this question. So that means that you will be knowing, with your knowledge, you will be knowing maybe around 40 questions. Maybe another 10 question, you yourself will not be knowing anything that you have done in the first round. Now what happens because of this? One, you have not seen other topics where you are not having the complete grip for, right? Second, because of which you have not attached any emotion to it, whether it is difficult or easy. Right. Now I have only done the question which I am comfortable with, topic I am comfortable with. So there is a high chance that most of the basics that, since I'm doing it on the knowledge basis, most of them will become correct. So by my, and it will also take very less time because I'm doing on a knowledge based. When you are doing on a knowledge based answers, you are not thinking, eliminating, but you are applying your already known things. So that means that it will take 1 minute per question. If I take maybe 40 to 50 minutes, your one round is done and your 50 question is already done. 40 you are well knowing about it. Another 10 you are anyways going to leave. That will leave only remaining 50 question for the remaining 70 to 80 minutes. So this will keep you, those questions which you are not really knowing very well, but you have heard about where you have to use your brain, where you have to eliminate the option, you are having almost 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per question. Right? In this way, where you need more time, you have to keep more time. Where you are doing on purely knowledge basis, you have to keep less time. What most of the aspirants do is they start from first question and start doing. The first round itself, they take 1 hour 20 minutes. Once they finish 1 hour 20 minutes, they would have done only 40 questions then also. And eliminated 1 or 2, keeping it for the second round. By the time they finish 100 question itself is 1 hour 25 minutes. Now they have to do 50 question, 55 question in the remaining maybe around 35, 40 minutes. That is, they are not even getting 1 minute for each question. Right? So in that sense, the pressure will further build. So they will start taking the calls. That is one problem. Second, since they have studied all the 100 questions, let's say for your, on your bad day, let's say first few questions were very difficult for you. Let's say from ancient medieval India and the history question that you have studied very little with respect to your preparation material, and the question is a bouncer kind of question. Right. Let's say you have not attended 7, 8 question, you don't know anything. What it will make you mentally, the paper is difficult one, you unnecessarily start taking the risk from the beginning itself. Correct, because of which you will start making the mistake in an easy topic where you have your own strengths. Maybe the polity question is at the end, you may be losing those questions also because of the pressure you are in. Now in my case, I have not even seen them because I'm only seeing the question which I am comfortable at. So one, that will help you to have the confidence, and also you are already knowing that if you have done 40 question very well within 40 minutes, you know that already 75 to 80 marks is in your pocket. So when you know that that much marks are in your pocket, also I know that only 20 marks is needed now, and I have 1 hour 10 minutes or 1 hour 15 minutes, and only I need 10 to 12 questions. That mentally makes me feel that I am already cleared. So I can take the calculated risk, think logically and eliminate. This is how you are going to look into it. Once your exam is over, have a proper lunch or whatever it is, then basically take yourself, glance your CSAT, everything, and please you can attend the same in the similar way CSAT. You can go in the 2 hours and attend. So in that way, it is very important to handle where your knowledge is required, keep less time. Where your thinking is required, keep more time. Right? Don't do other way around. Most of the students lose it because they do other way around, where they keep more time for knowledge based question, that is 1 hour 30 minutes first round. Second round, where they are supposed to think and eliminate, they are keeping less time. This has to be avoided.
Okay, sir. So, whatever you are told, definitely the right time management, application of the knowledge, application of the basic concepts, especially in the round two, and thinking and keeping more time for round two is essential, right? So, definitely the viewers will be definitely benefited by your uh, inputs and whatever the wisdom that you have got over the years. So, I request every one of you to definitely note down these points, try to apply in actual UPSC papers, mock papers before going it. Try it. Whatever the sir have told you, definitely you can improve your scores and clear this examination. So we wish you all the very best for this examination. Hope that you will come out with the flying colors and see you very soon for the mains examination. Thank you, viewers.